When you hear about human trafficking, you don't think it's happening in your town or city, but it is happening right here in Michigan. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Hess and this is Comcast Newsmakers. Joining me now is the President and CEO of Vista Maria, Angela Aufdemberge. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's good to be here, Laurel.
And when we're talking about human trafficking, what exactly are we talking about? There are really two different specific kinds, correct?
Yes, human trafficking can take the form of labor trafficking, forced labor enslavement, and then there's commercial sexual exploitation. And it happens both to adults and to minors.
And how prevalent is it here in the state of Michigan?
Yes, it is thought that Michigan is one of the highest states for the incident of human trafficking, especially for adolescents. And most of that is because we have an international border.
Is that really the only reason? Or, there's a whole big border down to the south, and, why us?
Yeah, so not all of that is very clear. We continue to learn, and we have put together a statewide task force under the direction of Bill Schuette, and we continue to partner with not only the FBI, the state police, the Department of Human Services, and private agencies like Vista Maria are working collaboratively to really understand why there's the prevalence in the state of Michigan and how do we address it and make others aware, especially the general public.
So we know Michigan is sort of a hot spot or has a high rate of human trafficking, but
yes.
What does that really mean? I don't want you to have to remember statistics or that type of thing, but how prevalent is it? How many do we know children or people each day, week, month are being brought into this human trafficking?
We know nationally on the reported incidents, and they can be into the thousands in a given year, and we know that about 50% are girls, young women, and adolescents. Well, that's what we do know. One of the things of this task force is coming together is actually to figure out how do we do better record keeping. It is very difficult to identify victims that are entered in at the age of 12 to 14, those tender ages, are not reporting because of the severe trauma that they experience while they're victims.
And then where does Vista Maria come in? What is your role?
Yeah, so Vista Maria has been serving Metropolitan Detroit and the state through our programs that treat, care for, and educate young girls who've been victims of severe trauma, abuse, and neglect. And so it was a natural fit that Vista Maria could help not only with those on our staff that are child psychologists and psychiatrists, to our therapists. We have experience in treating those victims that are non-compliant and lending our hand in interviewing techniques, training, as well as building awareness to the general public that this is an issue and that we all need to join together to help.
Is there something all of us non-experts can do to be aware of, look for signs, that type of thing?
Yes, it is unusual because it's usually an enticement when it's an adolescent. It isn't a big kidnapping, but it's an enticement. It's an older woman or an older man generally dominating a younger girl or boy and very controlling. Sometimes you'll see physical signs of abuse, but generally it will be very domineering and more mental abuse and control. Many victims don't report what's happening to them because of the severe trauma and threats of physical harm.
All right, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
For more information on today's topic or to call the National Human Trafficking Resource Center, you can call 888-3737-888. Today's Comcast Newsmaker was Angela Aufdemberge, the President and CEO of Vista Maria.